بضيق خلقك. الحمد لله ما حد بياخذ منك رزقك. هدي وارتاح ثابر واطمح من حقك، بس بلاش العين. لا 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 ما تسوى الدنيا بضيق خلقك. الحمد لله ما حد بياخذ منك رزقك. هدي وارتاح ثابر واطمح من حقك، بس بلاش العين.
Goeienaand, Shalom. I greet you all with the universal greetings of peace and mercy and love. I shall deliver a brief prayer, and I will translate the opening chapter or part of the opening chapter of the glorious Quran. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. In the name of Almighty Allah, the most merciful, the most gracious. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. All thanks and praises are due to you. Ar-Rahmanir Rahim, the most merciful, the most gracious. Maliki Yawmiddin, the Lord of the day of reckoning. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'een. We worship you alone, and from you we seek help. Guide us on the path of righteousness. And every single prophet who came to this world was indeed a great humanitarian who created and established the noble teachings of Almighty Allah, and who set the highest standard of the well-being of human dignity, respect and honor. And tonight, at this particular historic launch of the cycle tour that will take place next year, we ask you, O Allah, bless this gathering, bless the occasion and the build-up to that particular occasion in March 2020. Maulana Abdul Khalik Ibrahim Ali. Well, the Muslim Judicial Council endorses this human rights cycle tour, the historic moment that will be taking place, and we are extremely proud to be associated. As you know that our very foundation is based upon human dignity, respect and honor of all human beings, and as such there's a global need to rise to the occasion in light of human abuse that takes place, violation against human beings. And this particular occasion, whilst it is a historic one, it is one that we must be extremely proud about.
The TV partner is ITV.
My name is Dr. Anwar Nagia. I'm founder member of the Al-Kaf Human Rights Center, involved in the foundation of what we call the International Human Rights Cycle Tour that will be taking place in March. Yes, we are completely pleased. For the first time, amongst many other things, South Africa is celebrating their fallen heroes. And what better to do it in the post-apartheid period, to have a cycle race that responds to memory of all of our fallen heroes. And today is the launch of such an exciting project. Hopefully we'll take it to the rest of Africa and the rest of the continent. So it's the first human rights cycle tour which responds to the fallen heroes. And we are perhaps a conduit for this. This is the Human Rights Center which you're forming. Assalamu alaikum, good evening, Molweni, and to all the heroes and heroines of our struggle. It is, after all, a human rights cycle tour. So we're very pleased to have everybody in the Human Rights Center. So quite fortuitously, as we embarked on this journey with a human rights cycle tour, which I might add is the first of its kind, and probably will be the first of its kind on the African continent and more. But a lot of this wouldn't be possible if we do not celebrate and commemorate the lives of all of our fallen comrades, whose in honor this race is about. And lots of the work on human rights is the embodiment of what South Africa and South Africans do. But also there is a commercial side to it. And part of what this center that you're sitting here and witnessing, it took us 8 years to get to this point. Not because we couldn't do it, because we had objections. We had foolish people objecting to the first human rights center on the African continent. But enough about that. A lot about what we hope to achieve and in whose memory we are celebrating this auspicious and very important fundamental race. We want to bring the linkages between Africa and all the persons or companies that in the same time zone with ourselves, that we have this rate extended to other people. But we can't ignore our heroes like Imam Haroon, Steve Biko, Fort Kalata, Sparrow Mkonto, the Guguletu 7, which I personally, in fact, if Osman Shabadin is here, we both went to go bury the comrades. We couldn't even get into the township because it was illegal for us to go and bury those comrades who died. And then, of course, Sean Mahmoud, the Trojan horse. If you examine the logo of the human rights, you'll see the tapestry of what we are doing, and we will amplify what that means at another occasion. The great Anton Fransman, the Sean Mahmoud, whose body we carried for almost 4 or 5 kilometers on our shoulders. So I don't care whether you're gay, lesbian, or you're Muslim, Christian, you believer or non-believer. The center is for you. It's part of a human rights discourse. I am a Sunni Muslim and I make no apologies for that. That's my disclaimer.
Ishmael Boulay, I'm the director of a company called Retroactive. Okay, the vision of my company is upliftment, utilizing human resources and involvement in communities. And I feel that the human rights cycle lines up with that vision of my company.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Good evening. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, and I believe it's through His mercy that we are here today. And I thank my parents for allowing me this opportunity to be a sponsor of this event. We're standing in a building known as the Human Rights Building. It was registered on Human Rights Day, ironically. We a stone's throw away from an area known to us all as District 6, with one of the greatest human rights atrocities occurred. And I believe that events like these will allow us to prevent those type of indignities and human rights to be trampled upon.
Lois O'Brien, Managing Director, Smile 90.4 FM. From the cycle tour perspective, we're able to give them the exposure on air to be able to get the entries. We really, really believe in the cause. It's a really exciting event. Smile 90.4 FM are all about putting smiles on people's faces. Good evening, everybody. I'm Lois O'Brien from Smile 90.4 FM. Do I see everybody smiling? Is there a smile on everybody's faces? Well, that's what we hope to bring to the party, is to put smiles on the organizers' faces, help get entries in. We're really honored to be a partner, and we're very honored to be a part of this amazing race. I think it's one of a kind, and we really hope the entries fill in very, very fast, and that it's a great success.
Good evening, everyone. Congratulations to the founders of the Human Rights Store. I think that it's a great opportunity to remind South Africans of our history, but in a fun and a very enjoyable way. And also one of those sports that historically in our country were never done by people filling up this room. To me, this is very personal because it's also a chance where I'd like to change this room if I could, because in terms of racial and religious backgrounds, my first business partner was a Muslim guy. He's still there, 72 Clip Road, Absolute Eye Care. And I'd like to believe that South Africans can work together, irrespective of their backgrounds and their religion or what their association is. Thank you.
I'm Aslam Hassan. I'm the designated spokesperson for the Busy Corner group of companies. Our origins go way back to 1956 when our founding fathers started the business of Busy Corner. Our origins go way back to 1956 when our founding fathers started the business of Busy Corner. And those principles that they've started it on are still ever present in our business today. And those principles of community, respect and responsibility run strongly through the veins of each and every one present in the company at this day today. We then feel that, you know, we need to give back to the community, to the people of Cape Town, to pay them back for the loyalty and their patronage that we've received over the years. We also feel that an event of this nature will go a long way to put a spotlight on Cape Town, on our unique culture that we have in Cape Town, the fantastic people and our wonderful city. You know, so showcasing our city, showcasing our people, and it's a socially responsible thing to do. We find it our responsibility and indeed our duty to give back to the community and to pay them back for their loyal support over the years. It's ingrained in us. It's part of our heritage. It's part of our company makeup and build up for us to do what we do. As a company, Busy Corner has had very humble beginnings. I think most of you know that our first store opened up in Victoria Road, Grassy Park, way back in 1956. Now, the principles upon which this company was started, the principles, the business principles, the human principles of community, respect and responsibility still run very strongly through the veins of each and every one of us present in the company today. As Mr. Parker has said, you know, an event like this really resonates with us. It fits perfectly into our social responsibility portfolio. The success of our business, we believe, has always been and always will be directly proportionate to our staff, number one, and our customers who have invested in our brand through their loyalty and their support and patronage through the years. We can only but wish the organizers of the Human Rights Cycle Tour all the very best for the upcoming months. We are there if you need us. We didn't sign on for a sponsor if we weren't going to be. And I just wish you all the very best. And we are sure that this event will become a mainstay on the city's annual calendar of events. And it's such a great thing that it will highlight this beautiful city of ours, our unique culture, the unique Cape Town culture that you cannot put into words, and also the fantastic people, the population of Cape Town. So without further ado, thank you very much and the best of luck.
لا 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 ما تسوى الدنيا تضيق خلقك الحمد لله تافر وضح من حقك بس
I'm Chissy Peterson from Bredasdorp. Well, I think through certain people, Dr. Anwar, he made contact with me and invited me here. So here I am. A very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is an exceptional privilege for me to share with you some of my views on the necessary discourse on human rights in sport. As a veteran sportsman, my best achievements hail from the apartheid era. And understandably, I may have enough against the unjust treatment of that time, where I myself became a victim. Way back, the slogan, "No normal sport in an abnormal society," did the rounds. Nowadays, we have the much hated quota ideology. My question, when will the utopia of merit in sport manifest itself in sport? I'm still very surprised that talent in sport is demeaned and judged by its mere difference from the prevailing norm. And our most significant example is our very own Caster Semenya. I also hail from a very sporting family. My late cousin, Winston Peterser, was the non-white Springbok rugby captain. My late father, also a very keen sportsman in his day, in various sporting codes, was also the president of the South African Cycling Association. My younger sister, in a period of 12 months, won 5 national titles, 3 track titles for ladies, 1 road title for ladies, and as well as the SA javelin title. Ja, sy het geweet hoe om as 'n gaai te gooi. Even my youngest son, in 2012 and 2014, in South Korea, in the Tour de Korea, that multi-day stage race, he won the King of the Mountains classification, the polka dot jersey, as we know it, on both occasions. Now, while teaching in Worcester, my hometown, I started in 1970 competitive cycling. And of course, as a result of vigorous and dedicated training, I, on the 10th of April, 1971, won the South African sprint title. But of course, what made it much more significant, as was said earlier, I established a new South African record. But unfortunately, as was also said, due to the excessive pigmentation, I had my disqualification, so no reward, no recognition. It was only on the 13th of December, as the Master of Ceremonies mentioned, of last year, 13 December last year, that the Western Cape government acknowledged me as a cycling legend. While I'm still cycling, I just completed the Cape Town Cycle Tour. That was actually my 15th after I had stayed. In 1973, I quit cycling due to a back injury. But it was only my chiropractor that later advised me to go back onto the bicycle. So I did complete the Argus this year, as it is fondly known. And that exactly, and incidentally, was on my 72nd birthday. So now, with the Human Rights Cycle Tour on the horizon, I would like to render my full support for this venture, and my entry will be forthcoming. Fortunately, that is only 2 weeks after next year's Cape Town Cycle Tour. So I wish you luck. I wish you everything of the best. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
My name is Abdulaziz Davids. I'm a portfolio manager at Kagiso Asset Management. Yes, Kagiso Asset Management are proud sponsors of the Human Rights Cycle Tour, and I think the association is very symbolic. Kagiso has a long tradition of fighting poverty and alleviating poverty in our poorer communities, and party to that is clearly the fight for human rights as well in South Africa. So Kagiso, our parent company, has been going since 1984. So it has a 35-year track record of fighting oppression and fighting poverty in South Africa as well.
Honorable Judge Desai, respected dignitaries, ladies and gentlemen, I greet you with the universal greetings of peace and blessings. Assalamu alaikum. Good evening, Molweni, Shalom. I consider it a great honor and privilege to be standing in front of you today. It's only through the will of the Almighty and the support of all of you that we have assembled here today to launch the first human rights cycle tour. In fact, I'm standing on the shoulders of great giants, community workers, philanthropists, my team, and of course, our revered sponsors. As a team, we are passionate about the impact this event can have on the community, not only of Cape Town, but of South Africa ultimately. Raising awareness for human rights, the passion for empowerment, human rights awareness, and cycling is shared by all the members of our team. And how better could I express myself than relating a true life story? One of our committee members by the name of Samir Abdul, one Saturday morning, he gets a knock on the door, opens the door, and there's a gentleman standing by his door by the name of Welcome. And Welcome's asked him, "Sir, I'm a gardener, I work in gardens, I am looking for work." And Samir's garden needed some serious attention. So he said to Welcome, you're more than welcome to come and see to my garden. And to his surprise, Welcome did a brilliant job. And he said to Welcome, "I would like you to come every week." And Welcome said to him, "Sir, I would love to do that, but it takes me 2.5 hours to get to your home. And it will be very difficult for me to come every week." So without a blink, Samir then gave him a bicycle. And ladies and gentlemen, today, Welcome is looking after most of the neighborhood's gardens in the neighborhood. Now, that is empowerment.
The name is Mike Tippett. I'm the development manager for the cycling program in the Western Cape. The Sports Trust was actually formed by the late Steve Sweti and Madiba. And they said every kid in this country must have the facility, ability and opportunity to play sport. So the Sports Trust was formed, and out of the Sports Trust, the development cycling program in the Western Cape has progressed. It started about 16 years ago, and to date, about 2,500 learners have gone through the program, given about 1,200 bikes out into the program. And it's not just about putting a kid on a cycle. It's about changing a lifestyle. It's about education. It's about uplifting that individual and giving him hope and the opportunity to succeed in his chosen sport. And obviously, if the sport is going well, education follows thereafter as well.
It's Nisar Pangaka from Smile 90.4 FM. Well, I think this human rights race is significant for the first one in the world, and the Smile, we believe we're a leader in the radio space, so it was just a natural that we'd be associated and put all our energy behind what I think is going to be an awesome race next year.
It's going to be uphill, the first one, but I'm sure all the other ones will be downhill, and I, in my heart of heart, believe that this race is here to stay. Thank you very much.
When we talk about such a topical subject, which is human rights, a very global issue, that in some instances, in some circles, one does not even want to talk about it because you're not even sure who you're sitting next to, then it becomes a challenge. But if we can sit around and joyfully so include a fun sport, which is cycling, then it makes it interesting that, we can really advance this global phenomena and ultimately hope in the future that those rights may not be violated. And thank you so much for everyone that's here. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Andiswa. Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our formalities. My name is Benito Vegatini. Thank you so much.
لا 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 ما تسوى الدنيا تضيق خلقك الحمد لله ما حد بياخذ منك رزقك هدي وارتاح تابر واطمح من حقك بس بلاش العين لا 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 ما تسوى الدنيا تضيق خلقك الحمد لله ما حد بياخذ منك رزقك هدي وارتاح تابر واطمح من حقك بس